vacuum pumasok. So when you talk of cardiac catheterization, this is an invasive, less invasive cardiology. Sabihin natin. So you make use of catheters, needles, to diagnose and treat patients. Number one, coronary angiography. Ngayon, ang dami-daming cath lab. When I graduated in interventional cardiology, walo lang yung cath lab sa buong Pilipinas. So, ganun ka-bilis yung progress in terms sa mga hospital. Ang dami. Lalo na nung lumabas yung case rate ng PhilHealth for IHD-AMI. Ibig sabihin, sa isang pasyente inatake, ang laki ng bigay ng PhilHealth. Case rate na siya. Okay? Kaya lang maraming ang laki ng possibility of abuse, just like cataract surgery. Yeah? So, coronary angiogram and cardiac catheterization is the gold standard in the assessment of anatomy and physiology of the heart. Okay? Actually, nagsimula yan 1929 pa when Forsman, ang ginawa niya, inserted a catheter, a Foley catheter, doon sa ugat niya. At umabot yun hanggang doon sa atrium. So sa vein niya, sa brachial vein. And took an x-ray, umabot ngayon yung catheter na yun doon sa puso niya. Okay? 1940, Curnan and Richard, sila yung nagsimula on how to evaluate pressure recordings, naglagay din ng catheter, may mga catheter, kinunan ng pressure ang bawat arm. And they tried to evaluate yung cardiac function. Sones naman performed the first selective angiography. Kaya nga merong Sones catheter. Okay? So, when in-insert niya yung catheter, pumasok yung catheter, nag-cross sa aortic valve, pumasok sa left ventricle and injected a 40 ml of blood dun sa left ventricle. So nakita niya ngayon na yung ventricle. Okay? So, doing a selective cannulation ng mga coronary arteries, you can do now your coronary angiography. Ito, ewan ko sino to. Sabi nila, in medicine, most errors are made. Mild lang. But some errors can be fatal. But it helped us to prevent further fatalities. So you learn from your mistakes. Diba? It's okay na magkamali minsan. But some errors create history and redefine science. So tingnan mo yung mga taong yan. So the birthplace of coronary angiogram sa Henry Ford Hospital, Cleveland Clinic. So what are the indication in doing cardiac cath and coronary angiography? First is you have to define, what do you want to see? You need to, if there is a need to evaluate the extent and severity of the cardiac disease in symptomatic patient and determine if medical, surgical, or catheter-based intervention is warranted. It is used to exclude severe disease in symptomatic patients with equivocal findings in non-invasive studies and in patients with chest pain syndromes of unclear etiology for whom a definitive diagnosis is necessary for management. Ito nga, yung tinawag kanina, chest pain daw siya. No? Pero there are two impressions when actually a patient came in because of fever. Na may mild chest pain, pero continuous yung chest pain. Positive ngayon yung cardiac marker. Will you treat that as MI? Or myocarditis yan? Kasi you can also have chest pain with myocarditis. With myocarditis, pwedeng mag-positive ang cardiac marker. Diba? So, you can buy time. If you do invasive procedure in patient with myocarditis, the myocardium may be irritable. Kung nangyari yun, pwede kang mag-induce ng fatal arrhythmia. Okay? So, hindi lahat ginagawa ka agad-agad. So, cardiac cath is not mandatory prior to cardiac surgery in some younger patients. So, yung mga bata na mag-undergo ng other cardiac surgery like valvular surgery or congenital heart disease, angiogram is not mandatory, especially if the patient doesn't have any risk factor for atherosclerosis. Okay? So the indications for CAD in asymptomatic or symptomatic patients, high risk of adverse outcome based on non-invasive testing, positive stress test, early positive, okay? Or sa mga imaging nyo ngayon, those patients who survive sudden cardiac arrest, or patients who have sustained monomorphic ventricular tachycardia. Ini-specified nila, no? Pag sinabi mong sustained, that the tachycardia is more than 30 seconds. Pag monomorphic kasi, they always consider that there is a scar. Non-sustained polymorphic naman, which signifies myocardial ischemia. Kaya iba-iba yung itsura ng mga premature beats niya. In symptomatic patients na nag-chest pain, nag-angina, who are in Canadian Cardiology Society or CCS classification of 2, 3, or 4, stable angina, despite the optimum medical therapy, in acute coronary syndrome, ito yung basis ngayon ng PhilHealth in increasing the coverage for AMI. Do you know how much is the coverage for primary angioplasty? It's 523,000. Kaya ang laki na yun. Nagsulputan ng mga cath lab. Ewan ko kung totoo, may mga reports pa, nag-angioplasty sila, kumukuha sila ng blood and they try to check the troponin. Include mo na, siyempre magpa-positive yun. Di ba? But anyway, chest pain syndrome of unclear etiology on non-invasive test. So ito yung mga equivocal. ST segment elevation in acute myocardial infarction, is the hospital PCI capable? So when you're talking of ST elevation, myocardial infarction, anong treatment on? Reperfusion is mandatory. Reperfusion can be achieved by pharmacologic or by primary PCI. Okay? If the hospital is PCI capable, then primary PCI is favored over thrombolysis. Intindihan nyo? If the patient is non-PCI capable, but Kasi meron kang time frame na hinahabol dyan. Every second is the muscle pag MI, acute ST elevation MI. But thrombolytics capable, then that hospital can give pharmacologic thrombolysis. Then transfer the patient, immediately transfer the patient to PCI capable. So that's the algorithm. No? Siyempre, yung ibang hospital, as much as possible, they want to get hold of the patient muna. So, reperfusion with primary PCI intervention, persistent recurrent ischemia, the pulmonary, itong persistent recurrent ischemia after lytics, you still can do, kaya nga pinapatransfer ka agad sa prime PCI capable, ano? Para kung sakaling mag-fail ang thrombolysis, you can do now your rescue PCI. Ang tawag doon, rescue. Or patients who have high risk clinically, pulmonary edema, in cardiogenic shock, no? And relatively may mga instability ang pasyente. Okay? Or patient na hindi na-transfer kaagad, but wala ng chest pain, then hindi na siya ngayon emergency. Stable siya, but patient must undergo risk stratification through non-invasive testing. Kung positive yung stress test niya, then highly positive, high risk, you do your angiogram prior to discharge or PCI. Mechanical complication like mitral regurgitation from papillary muscle rupture or VSD. Okay? So, I guess it's time for me. 2 minutes pa. So, sa valvular naman, who among the patients who will undergo valvular heart surgery na mag-undergo ng angiogram, these are, besides that valve problem, you're entertaining coronary artery disease, or those people who are beyond, for male, 40 years of age, o may mga risk factor kung babae, 40 years of age, then you do coronary angiography prior to surgery. O may mga symptoms ng dyspnea, angina, or syncope. Infective endocarditis with need for cardiac surgery, symptomatic patients with AR or cardiac enlargement and decreased ejection fraction. So, kailangan yung gawin niya. Prior cardiac surgery, patient with suspected coronary artery disease. Now, congestive heart failure, most disease, marami na lang ito, yung mga heart, iba-iba na naman yung definition. New onset angina with suspected and diagnosed coronary artery disease. So if you are highly entertaining the possibility that the patient has coronary artery disease, before any other cardiac surgery, you must clear the coronaries. In one sitting, gawin mo na lahat. Okay? Congenital heart disease, ganun din. Okay? Pericardial diseases, symptomatic patient with suspected cardiac tamponade, constrictive pericarditis. So, dapat i-correlate nyo clinically. Cardiac transplantation, other condition, in HOCM with angina, diseases of the aorta, ganun din. Okay? Yung mga may aneurysm. So, to summarize everything, more or less, ito yung table. Risk. Di ba? Ano yung risk? So, how do you explain to the patient na i-convince niya siya mag-undergo ng procedure? So, the risks associated with elective cardiac cath are the following. They are usually low. Maliliit na yung mga catheter. Less than 0.1% for myocardial infarction. Okay? Mataas pa yung chance pag tumawid ka sa daan na mabundol ka ng tricycle o ng jeep. Okay? less than 0.07% of stroke. Kaya pag nag-advise kayo na gano'n kayo, sasabihin nyo, pwede po kayong heart attack, pwede kayong ma-stroke, but this is the number. Okay? Kasi I remember a patient, nurse siya, head nurse, na angioplasty yung asawa dito sa Pilipinas. Umuwi siya from Middle East. Dahil head nurse siya, may mga talang catheter, ano siya, okay siya. Naparaning na yun siya. Kasi iniwan niya yung asawa niya, husband niya na okay, tapos biglang nag-MI. Ngayon siya, any pain na nararamdaman niya, nung bumalik na siya sa Middle East, nagpa-angiogram. Nag-angiogram siya. The coronaries are normal. Sinabi yan siya after the procedure. Okay siya, wala siyang bala. But, nung ibabalik na siya sa room, biglang nag-chest pain. So that patient ended up having 2 stents in the left main coronary artery, bifurcation stenting ng left main. Siguro, na-dissect nila yung ugat. So it happens. Okay? Kaya nga, nung nagtanong yung anak, pwede bang ma-atake after the angiogram? Pwede. Diba? Yun yung tinatawag nilang malas. So anyway, the most common problem, possible complication, is hematoma sa puncture site. Okay? So dapat, ngayon kasi meron na. Dati pinipress lang, matagal yung puncture site para makontrol. Tapos put in a pressure dressing sa groin. But now, karamihan, most of the time, more than 90% of the cases now are done radially, by radial access. Sa kamay na. Okay? Mas madaling i-press. So, lesser yung chances of bleeding. But having bleeding, pwede pa rin mangyari, pero much lesser as compared to a femoral approach. Okay? So what are the relative contraindications? Relative decompensated congestive heart failure, acute renal failure, severe chronic renal insufficiency. So these are just relative contraindications. Ibig sabihin, inaatake na kaya mataas ang creatinine. Ano isisave mo? Kidney or the heart? Ang puso, mahirap palitan. Ang kidney, napapalitan. Okay? Sepsis, acute stroke, acute GI bleeding, severe uncorrected electrolyte abnormalities, allergy to the dye, and history of allergy to the medications that you are going to give after. So allergic reaction to contrast media may range from plain and simple na pangangati to anaphylactic shock. Okay? It occurs in less than 5% of cases, pero yung shock talaga, anaphylactic reaction, are very rare. But if the patient has very strong history of allergy to contrast media, you give hydrocortisone, you give antihistamine, H1 and H2 blocker pa kung minsan. Okay? Alam niyo pa ba yung mga H2 blocker nyo? Yung mga gamot nyo sa sikmura. Okay? Ranitidine, pamotidine, ito mga yan. Okay, contrast-induced acute kidney injury, how do you decrease the risk? By hydration. How do you define contrast-induced nephropathy? An increase in the creatinine of more than 0.5 milligram per deciliter or 25% above the baseline value. Okay? Which may occur within 48 to 72 hours after the procedure. And it may occur in 2 to 7% of patients. Okay? So, who are these patients who are at high risk for contrast nephropathy? Diabetic, heart failure, CKD, anemia, and older age. And less than 0.3 to 0.7% may require dialysis, especially those patients with elevated baseline creatinine. How do you manage? Hydration lang. How do you hydrate? At 1 to 1.5 ml per kilo per hour. Okay? But you have to be very careful dun sa mga pasyente na heart failure na. So most of the time, if the patient is compensated, you can give for half of that, 0.5 milligram per ml per kilo. So metformin, ACE, ARB should be withheld within 48 hours prior to procedure and limit the associated risk of lactic acidosis. So treatment, preparation, vascular access, yan ang mga bioradial or brachial artery. Okay. Okay, of course, if you do radial approach, you have to do your Allen's test. Di ba, ang kamay nyo, dalawa yung blood supply. You have your radial and your ulnar. Eh, barado pala yung ulnar. Nagka-problem ka sa radial, putol ang kamay niya. Okay? So you need to do that. IJ, anticubital, lahat na yata ng ugat na tutusok na namin. Okay. Tama na muna yan. Okay? I will give the room to Dr.